Welcome to Art Scene. I am Tom Erb, your host, and Art Scene is brought to you by the Arts and Cultural Alliance of Newport County. Newport County's Arts and Cultural Alliance has been in existence since 1992, and we are excited about what's going on in Newport as far as arts and cultural activities. Okay, we're getting into winter. There's still lots of cool things going on. We got things like New Year's coming up, which I'm sure there'll be lots of arts going on. But today, okay, we are definitely excited because I'm going to get the opportunity, I think, to paint, and which is really an interesting concept. In our studios today is Karen Talbert. She's an herbalist and an artist, and she has a philosophy about painting and how to take yourself away from yourself and to paint from your subconscious. I'm excited. Welcome. This is Tom Erb in the Arts and Cultural Alliance of Newport County's Featured Artist of the Month. And this month, our artist is Karen Talbert. So Karen Talbert, the artist, the herbalist, and what else are you?
Writer, cook, art show provider, many other things.
Okay, well, we're here to discuss your art today, okay? And we have some examples of it. And I understand that your approach to art's a little bit different than most. Can you explain that for us?
Well, I'm an herbalist. I've been an artist and an herbalist all my life, and I've tried to balance these things ever since I was little. And so I've tried to connect with the plants that that my grandfather taught me about. And then I realized that there were lots of other plants outside the garden, which were wild plants. And I seemed to be able to connect to the wild plants and the energy from them. So it shows up in my art. But how I create the art is more interesting than actually the final product.
And how do you create the art?
Well, it's these two small paintings that you see on either side of you, where I asked people to simply come and, without thinking, use the opposite hand that they write with, which is the non-dominant hand. The non-dominant hand is connected to the right brain, which is nonverbal, nonlinear, and accesses your subconscious. So it's simply, you don't think, you go for the color that pleases you with you're right-handed, right?
I'm right-handed.
Okay, so you would take your left hand and just go for the color that pleases you and just smear it or paint it on the canvas using your whole body, your arm motion, your hand motion, without thinking. And what I do is I take that back to my studio and I finish it.
Wow. So what you're saying is that I'm going to use my opposite hand, okay? And that's going to tap into my subconscious if I don't think about it. Because
exactly, you're not supposed to try anything.
I could never do anything like this.
Well,
okay?
this one I did myself, but I start off my paintings that I do by myself the same way, by using, I'm right-handed also, and I just start off with my left hand and just smear the canvas, and whatever shapes suggest themselves to me, then I switch to my right hand and complete it.
So we're using a different side of the brain. Okay, we're tapping into our subconscious as opposed to our conscious level.
That's right.
Okay, and so without giving it any thought, our subconscious level is kind of letting our left hand, or the opposite side of our brain that we're used to using.
That's
okay,
right. It's the creative side of the brain.
The creative side of the brain,
right.
To create. Okay, now not a lot of us create from the other side of our brain.
That's right.
Most of us function in our lives from the side of the brain that we're used to using. Like most of us, like right-handers. Okay, I've been obviously we've been right-handed all our life, so we're used to reaching for things consciously. Anything we do, we're going to go from that side. But
That's
to
right.
go to take a blank canvas, okay, and that blank canvas now becomes a canvas that's going to tell something from our subconscious. Now, what would be the title of this particular painting?
This is called Tender Fruits. The current series that I'm working on right now, I call Interspecies.
Right.
I consider it a synthesization of, I call it a flora, fauna, and flesh. They're plant-like, but they're human tissue-like. They're also animal-like sometimes. This one, for instance, you know, suggests the female.
Right. I was going to say this is definitely a feminine picture.
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't care what any man's subconscious says, he's never going to come up with something like that. Okay. Because mostly in a male subconscious level, there's either a truck or a boat. Okay. You know, there's never anything like that.
Well, you'd be surprised. We're going to see what comes out of you.
Oh, you're gonna use me as a guinea pig?
That's right.
I am not an artist. I am not a painter. Okay, I'm an artist, but I am not a painter. So I tend to. I'm a writer. I'm a producer, a director, an actor.
Mm-hmm.
That's my art. And I'm also a designer. So I can appreciate color and I can appreciate a nice piece of art. However, Okay, well, let me ask you this. What brought you to this? Because you said you've been a certified herbalist for 20 years now?
Yes, that's
okay,
right.
so obviously that was an interest prior to the painting.
Not prior to the painting. I've done both since
Right.
I was about 3 years old.
When did you identify this approach from approaching it from the subconscious in the opposite hemisphere of your brain?
Well, I've always done that, but I didn't have a title to put on it, but I started reading about Carl Jung and
Yep.
the subconscious.
Yep.
And I got really interested in that, and he talks a lot about that, so I decided to, it made my understanding even deeper, and it gave me a focus to connect the plant life, the plant energy, and the color energy, because each color has energy to it. Marc Chagall, for instance, was a painter, but he also did stained glass windows. And when you go into a cathedral, you're affected by the light that comes through the glass,
Yes.
the stained glass. So this is kind of the same thing. And as you can see, I really like intense colors.
Yes, you do. Okay, well obviously, Carl Jung, his approach to the subconscious he believed that the conscious was where the questions were. The subconscious
And
is where
the
the answers
answers.
are. In order to answer the question the conscious mind is trying to answer, you have to engage the subconscious to come up with the answer.
That's right.
Okay,
You're right.
so I happen to be a Carl Jung fan. So
Cool.
I have read his stuff, and I'm very much in tune with the subconscious mind because I believe that is where the answers are. All right, so if this is painted from your subconscious mind, this is telling me something about you.
What do you see?
Well,
I'm going to put you on the spot.
oh, you're gonna put me on the spot? What I see is, first off, a woman. Okay, if I hadn't seen you before, and somebody had said to me, identify the artist. Okay, now that's actually kind of a cool approach that you could take with your paintings. If you had a workshop where you put the paintings up and have people try to identify, because you're actually your subconscious mind is taking your
Well, you're
is
actually
identifying.
displaying your innermost
Absolutely.
self on the canvas.
So this is a very feminine, very female painting. So what it says to me about you is you're very much in tune with your emotional level. You're very much in tune with your psychological and spiritual level.
Yes, thank you.
Well, that's what I got from it. Okay, so you're going to use me. I'm going to actually paint something.
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to take what I paint.
Yes, and I don't want you to think about it. I don't want you to